Hey everybody, it is Prince's friend, and I am back to bring you the last interview, and this time it is with, you guessed it, Bobby Z. Now we have all of the Revolution together, and we'll be able to see all of their thoughts on their experience in being in the Revolution. Now again, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description so that you can go read the full interview, but I want to touch on a couple of things that I thought was pretty interesting about the interview. I think the biggest thing for me was that it reminded me that Bobby Z had really kind of been there since the beginning. Bobby Z was there from 1978 to 1986. He was there right after Prince released his first album, and he was there all the way through 1986 when, you know, the Revolution wasn't a thing anymore. The Houston press also was kind of Texas-oriented. They were like, hey, what about all the stuff about Texas? You know, do you remember ever playing in Texas? And Bobby Z was like, yeah, I think we played Texas University once. All right, like, let's move on. And then it was nice because then Bobby Z started talking about Wendy a little bit and saying that he likes that Wendy is the leader of the band. She doesn't miss a lick, is what he says. It's intimidating, but Prince isn't here. So we're not going to put somebody else up there. It's just the five of them struggling to get through this. And it's not going to be perfect because it's just going to be them, Prince and the Revolution, giving the freight train of energy that only we can do. Yeah, you'll get the feeling of it. It's like watching James Brown Band without James Brown. You'd still be grooving, but it's not the same. Which I think is true. I've seen The Wailers, and they were very good, but obviously no Bob Marley. I've seen Sublime. They go by another name that I'm blanking on right now, but they have a whole other thing that they do after their lead singer died, and they're pretty good, but, you know, not the same. So I get why the comparison there, definitely. I think something else that Bobby Z says in this interview that I think is really cool is he says that Prince is going to become like Mozart in Vienna. He says 30, 40, 50 years from now, it'll be an even bigger deal. This myth of the old masters from the 17 and 1800s, Prince had a lot of that old world feel to him, the knowledge of ages, and he presented that in how effortlessly he could play these instruments and write these songs. And you know what, I like to think that as well, because, you know, it's 2017, but what are people going to be saying about Prince in 2027, and 37, 47, 57, if I'm still here, geez. But I think it's pretty cool. This interview, again, it's with the Houston Press. It's less of a Q&A type thing that the other interviews had been, and it's very much just Bobby just talking, and I really, really like it. You guys should go check it out. I put a link in the description. When you're done reading it, come back and we'll discuss it a little bit more. We'll have some fun with that. In the meantime, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our Patreon to help support the channel. May you live to see the dawn.